Question 16, 2011 Higher, Paper 1. We're asked to find the integral of 1 over 3 times x to the power 4. So, thinking about our basic integration rules, the basic integration rule that we'll be using is integrating a power of x to the n, for instance. It would be x squared, x cubed, x power 4, whatever. Basic rule says if you're integrating, increase, remember differentiating decrease, but integrating increase, so that goes up by 1, and we divide by the new index. Always remember to add your constant of integration plus c. So as an example, x squared, if we integrate x squared, increase by 1, you get x cubed over 3 plus the constant. If you're integrating x cubed, you get x to the 4 over 4 plus c, and so on. So that's the basic rule. So let's wipe that out and let's get back to the question. So, integral of 1 over. Now here's our problem. This is not a power of x, it's 1 over a power of x. So we have to think, let's forget about the 3 just now, but let's think how we can get this written as a power of x. Well, we have to use the index rule, which says this fella can nip up to the top and change from positive to negative. You'll probably remember the indices law that says x to the minus n is 1 over x to the positive n. That's what we're using here. But basically, think of a fraction. If we have a positive power down here, the whole thing can nip up to the top, leaving a 1, I suppose, at the bottom, and it becomes negative power, the opposite sign. So it's x to the minus 4. So this guy can nip up to the top there and become x to the minus 4. The 3 stays down at the bottom. This is important. A lot of mistakes made by moving the 3 up to the top. Another way of thinking about this is that 1 over 3 x to the 4 is the same as 1 over 3 times 1 over x to the 4. And it's this x to the 4 that moves up. The 1 over 3, the third at the front, just stays as it is, and the x to the 4 moves up to the top of the fraction and becomes minus 4. And in normal rules of multiplication of fractions, 1 times x to the negative 4 be x to the negative 4, 3 times 1 is 3. So in that way, if we separate the 3, think of it as 1/3 times 1 over x to the 4, then all this works out in an easier way in your mind. So here we have it then. The integration, the 3 it just sits there and watches all the proceedings going on. So the integration rule tells us that if we've got x to a power, we increase this by 1. Now don't get confused with this. Minus 4 on the number line, increase by 1 plus 1, we'll get minus 3, not minus 5. So increase this by 1 and we'll get x to the minus 3. The 3 just sits there and watches what's going on. We have then to divide by the new index minus 3. That will then appear down here and join the 3. It's a division. And there's a 3 sitting there anyway, so it joins it as multiplication in there, plus c. We therefore get x to the minus 3 over minus 9 plus c. Of course, this isn't finished yet. A positive quantity plus x to the minus 3 divided by a negative quantity gives you a negative result. The x to the minus 3, this can jump down to the bottom, and that negative 3 changes to an x to the 3 if it leaves nothing in the top, there's basically a 1. It's all to do with multiplication. So there's a 1 there, and there's a 9. The x cubed joins the 9 that's down at the bottom. So there's the answer, minus 1 over 9x cubed plus c. Let's just check the answers. Minus 1 over 9x cubed plus c. That's choice A.